Hello, friends. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're a fan or a subscriber, welcome back. I really do appreciate the patronage. Today, I'm going to be talking about Jehovah's Witnesses, the generation. This is one of the most ridiculous of their teachings. So, what is the generation teaching? It actually depends on when you ask the question as to what answer you get, because Watchtower has had 6 different teachings. First, though, how do they get this generation? Jesus said in Matthew 24:34, "This generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled." Originally, Russell applied this teaching to all mankind, and he actually had 2 different teachings simultaneously. The start year for the generation, he explained, may have been 1780, extending 100 years to 1880, in which all signs would be fulfilled. At the same time he was teaching that, he alternately taught that it could refer to the 36-and-a-half-year period between 1878 and 1914. This is all poppycock, since it can't both be true, and another clear sign that he was a fraud. As we all know, the world didn't end in 1914. In 1927, Rutherford changed the teaching from all of mankind in general to the Anointed. Instead of the short period of time Russell gave, Rutherford included the entire time from Jesus to Armageddon, 1900 plus years. In 1951, under Nathan Knorr, the teaching reverted back to all mankind. It was at this time that the starting point for the generation became 1914. This change meant that Armageddon should have come within the lifetime of those alive in 1914. To make it appear that the end was near, Watchtower set the length of a generation at 37 years. Don't ask how they got to that. Taking Knorr's start date of 1914, this meant that the end of the world should have come in 1951. Shocker! It didn't. In the time between 1951 and 1995, the number of years constituting a generation constantly changed to make the end seem imminent. But the one thing that did not change was that some people who were alive in 1914 would live through Armageddon and thus never die. When 1951 ended and the world did not, Watchtower extended the generation to 70 or even possibly 80 years. In 1968, Watchtower said that a 15-year-old was old enough to discern the beginning of the end that started in 1914. Therefore, according to them, the generation would end in the mid-70s. Of course, the world lasted through the 70s, so in the 1980s, Watchtower lowered the age of discernment to 10, citing a U.S. News and World Report article that 10 is the age at which an event can create a lasting impression. They definitely excluded babies in the October 15, 1978 Watchtower. They began running a series in 1984 to highlight 1914 and the generation that will not pass away. Although Watchtower did not give a date, it doesn't take a genius to know what they meant. A 10-year-old in 1914 would be 80 in 1984, so there's not much time left. Starting in 1995, the governing body saw the need to change the teaching in order to prevent a mass exodus. Basically, the new teaching is that people who were born in 1914 form a collective generation with those born after 1914, which allows this generation to be extended indefinitely. In 2007, Watchtower changed the teaching that the heavenly calling was closed in 1935. This paved the way for yet another change in the generation teaching in 2008. This time, Watchtower said the generation did not refer to unbelievers, but anointed believers. Because the society has said the heavenly calling may not have closed and has not set a date, this does not limit the generation either. Another change came in 2010 with the concept of the overlapping generation, attempting to get people to feel the urgency again, going back to the idea that a generation represents a finite period of time and now represented 2 lifetimes, not 1. In effect, they are now saying that the generation includes 2 groups of anointed. The first group saw 1914, and the second group of anointed were, for a time, contemporary with the first group. As you can see, this makes no sense. Well, friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, press the subscribe button, and if you would like to know when I come out with new content, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. If notifications aren't working, I usually have something out every day. My Twitter, Discord, email, and PayPal links are in the description, along with the source I used for this episode. Question everything and never be afraid. Here are some videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Please leave comments in the comment section. I love hearing from you. Until next time, friends, goodbye.